You think sugar is harmless, just a small treat you have during the day without thinking about it. It's in your coffee in the morning, in your bread at lunch, and even in your healthy yogurt at night. But cut it completely for 14 days, and your body starts reacting in ways you don't expect. I removed all added sugar for 2 full weeks, no exceptions and no cheat days. Here's what actually happened inside my body and my mind. In the next few minutes, you'll understand what changes to expect physically, mentally, and metabolically, and whether this experiment is actually worth doing. This is not hype, and it's not another sugar is poison speech. This is simply what happens inside your body when you remove added sugar for 14 days straight. You'll see what happens to your cravings, your daily energy levels, your sleep quality, and even subtle body composition changes. And more importantly, you'll understand the mistake that ruins this experiment for most people. Because this isn't just about losing weight for 2 weeks, it's about regaining control over your appetite and your habits. Days 1 through 3. The first 72 hours were the hardest part of the entire process. Headaches started creeping in, energy dropped, and irritability showed up out of nowhere. That happens because sugar constantly spikes dopamine, and when you suddenly remove it, your brain has to recalibrate. This isn't weakness, it's neurological adjustment. Cravings peaked around day 2, especially at night when habits normally kick in. This is where most people quit and go back to old patterns. But after day 3, the intensity of cravings dropped noticeably. They weren't gone completely, but they became manageable, and that's the first real win. Days 4 through 7. Around day 4, something started shifting in a very noticeable way. Energy stopped spiking and crashing throughout the day. The usual afternoon brain fog wasn't there, and caffeine felt less necessary. That happens because blood sugar stops riding the roller coaster of spikes and drops. Insulin levels stabilize, and your body relies on steadier fuel sources. Instead of highs and crashes, you feel consistent. And something else changes quietly. Food noise decreases. Sugar doesn't just add calories, it amplifies cravings and constant thinking about food. Remove it, and mental clarity improves in a subtle but real way. Days 8 through 10. By day 8, taste perceptions started changing noticeably. Fruit tasted noticeably sweeter than before. Even dark chocolate felt intense and rich. That happens because your taste receptors recalibrate when they're no longer overloaded with high levels of sweetness. When you constantly consume very sweet foods, normal food feels bland. Remove added sugar and your sensitivity returns. You need less sweetness to feel satisfied, and that's when real control starts building. Days 11 through 14. By the second week, physical changes became more visible. Weight dropped slightly, but not dramatically. Most of that initial drop was water weight, not fat loss. Lower insulin levels cause your body to release stored glycogen, and glycogen holds water. Less glycogen stored means less water retention. Visually, bloating decreased, the face looked slightly leaner, and the stomach felt flatter. This isn't magic fat loss, it's metabolic relief and reduced inflammation. Cutting sugar alone does not automatically guarantee transformation. If you replace cookies with sugar-free processed snacks all day, nothing really changes. If you remove sugar but double your refined carb intake, you've only shifted the source. The real benefit of this experiment is awareness. You start reading labels more carefully. You begin noticing how often sugar is added unnecessarily, and that awareness changes behavior long-term. One common mistake is cutting all carbohydrates completely. That's not necessary and not the goal. We are targeting added sugar, not whole fruits or vegetables. Fruit contains fiber and nutrients that don't behave like processed sugar. Another mistake is not increasing protein intake. If protein stays low, cravings stay high. Protein stabilizes blood sugar and improves satiety. Meals during this experiment should prioritize protein first, fiber second, and whole food carbs after that. The third mistake is expecting rapid fat loss in just 2 weeks. This is a metabolic reset window, not a full transformation phase. If you're drinking fruit juice during this challenge, switch to whole fruit instead. Juice concentrates sugar and removes fiber, which changes the metabolic response. If you're relying heavily on artificial sweeteners throughout the day, gradually reduce overall sweetness exposure. The goal is recalibration, not substitution addiction. If you're skipping meals to accelerate results, that usually backfires. Instead, eat 3 balanced meals daily with high protein and 0 added sugar. Keep it simple and consistent.